and we'll see that FUT Esports versus Reply Totem game that we love. We're going to be starting things off on Goldarm Gulch in Knockout. I like this map, and I feel like it's going to be quite an aggressive battle between these two teams.
Certainly so. We'll see what kind of drafts we'll be expecting. Maybe we'll see some Rico show up on IKEOS, or at least some roughs or something along those lines. We did see roughs here earlier today. I don't think it worked out for them, but we'll see if it's going to be the case in this one. Our bans are lining up, and looks like FUT, they don't want none of that thrower action as they ban 3 throwers. It's going to be Grom, Sprout, and Tick out of the equation already. As our first picks are locking in, just quickly, SK's bans are going to be Cordelius, also the Tick, and I believe it was the Shelly for their final ban. We have a first pick, Gus for FUT Esports, SK Gaming matching that with the Body and the Squeak.
I like these picks for SK, I will say. The Body and the Squeak are always very, very good, but the Gus also a great pick. Early game, late game, when you have the shield, it can be very good. FUT Esports, definitely against the throwers. SK Gaming kind of agreeing with banning out the Tick, but Cordelius and Shelly, with FUT Esports having the first pick, are pretty... The bans that go without saying, I feel, for the side of SK Gaming there, but FUT Esports have the next 2 picks. 3 seconds on the clock, should be coming through in just a second. You're going to see the Fang, and that's a bold pick this early on.
It's a very bold pick. It's not a brawler we see a whole lot at the moment, to be honest, and sometimes I do wonder why, because he is still very threatening. His gadget, the stun can be really, really strong at just shutting down one or multiple players up close, and his super is still incredibly strong at getting him up close to the fight and get some massive damage with it. So I kind of like it, to be honest. I'm really curious about what the reaction is going to be from SK Gaming to that Fang. We'll see a Brock for FUT's final pick. Just, you know, open up the walls they want opened up, get some nice damage from afar as well. And, I mean, all in all, just a pretty standard knockout brawler.
Yeah, you know, as I said, we're probably going to see quite a lot of aggression between these two teams, and Fang, I think, kind of solidifies that. SK Gaming going to need something to defend against it. Otherwise, they're going to be pretty much hung out to dry against the aggression that Lenane's going to be bringing in on this brawler. They're going to go with the RT, can drop the legs and deal some serious damage if the Fang does land on him. So I can't blame Chaos for that pick. I think it's pretty solid. Obviously got the range to be able to combat them through that as well.
I like the RT. I like the RT. I think he can do some good work. And yeah, if the Fang gets over aggressive or finishes his dash chain onto him, that's where things can go really wrong if the RT has a super. We'll have to see in the field how it all plays out. I think both comps have their own merits, and I see a little bit more of a pop-up factor with that Fang, but at the same time, I feel like his strength can be also his biggest demise. As if they're able to keep him at bay and shut him down from afar, he will not have as much of DPS to provide his team as the other players.
Well, it's all of SK were on the right to start with, but we see Chaos rotating over now as well. And then gets the roundhouse kick, gets the stun, and gets the kill. Nice stuff for him against Yoshi there, who was meant to be brought in to be able to deal some decent damage against him, but that's clearly not the case so far. Does get hit once though by OP, and needs to kind of prevent feeding that super, and actually does manage to get it. So the jump should be coming in, whether that's now or in the next round. He's going to go for it now, but actually get traded out, and this is definitely a matchup that should be won by FUT.
Yeah, they should be able to do this. IKEOS doesn't really care about feeding the Brock anymore because you're already at his super anyway. So for SK, it is actually better that the Brock gets a kill there rather than the Fang. Regardless, the first one will go the way of FUT, and they'll be quite happy about that. And instant rocket rain from Semantic gets some good value, and he gets another rocket rain now. Not quite going to use it just yet, but actually he will get some more tags onto OP. Lena is too low HP to commit though, and Semantic is just tapping from afar with that Brock, keeping multiple players on the edge of their seat and on the brink of defeat.
Super came in there from Lenane. Drake didn't manage to grab that ghost, but OP should go down. Good pinch from Semantic and Lenane, and with how hard Semantic's been tapping so far in this game, should be alright. But RT does have that super. If Lenane manages to get his, he's going to want to stay away from that. And obviously Chaos will be his target anyway, thanks to his no burst damage. Semantic has a super. Not sure if he really wants to break up that much because of Lenane and his super. are going to be the ones mostly using that. The super comes out of the squeak as well, and that's a lot of hits on Semantic. He's going to go down, but the follow-up's not there from Linane. Residue's on the floor, and he's going to get slowed down. Gets his super, but gives Chaos his back as well.
Yeah, this was a tough one for FUT. I mean, the squeak kind of just popped off there for SK Gaming. And Chaos getting the connections he desperately needed. It was really well done. Now suddenly it's one round each. Super here from Akios is gonna find a connection as well. But there's not really any opportunity to follow up for SK Gaming. They'll have just a little bit more control for now, and they'll have to be satisfied with that.
Yeah, well, if Linane can find his way, or at least end up on Chaos, then it's going to be a good position. No residues left either, so kind of solidifies that position. But Yoshi just staying so firm on him, marking him up with those shots time and time again. And it's going to be difficult. Even used a gadget there as well. I'm not sure about that from Yoshi, but I don't feel like he used 3 RT gadgets in a game like this anyway, so I can't blame him for it, especially with it being the last round.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. He's probably not going to have the most opportunities to pop them at this point anyway. It's a dash in from Linane, gets to 1 kill, the follow-up as well, and OP gets knocked back into the gas. Let's see if they can match that again in game 2, or if SK Gaming have something to strike back.
Yeah, we will see. This is going to be the first set if FUT Esports manage to win this game, and Yoshi not in the best spot early on, but a little bit of a wall break from Semantic there. Linane's trying to make a break once again, might be able to find OP. It's the same thing as happened in the last game. He finds a way through, he gets the kill, and he looks good whilst doing it. Linane is going to go down there, though. That did so much damage. I'm not sure if the gadget came through as well there from RT just after, but that was a 3k squeak shot, if not.
Yeah, I didn't really see it, to be honest, so I'm not entirely sure how much damage he took there, but enough to take him down for sure, and he seemed healthy enough until that point. Regardless, it is a 2-on-2. Drake gonna pop super, and he makes it a 2-on-1 now as Yoshi is left alone. Not much of a chance. Never mind. Yoshi finds him. Does get tagged up there, gives a little bit of a free tag to Semantic. Semantic might just go for his super, and he'll do exactly that. Yoshi running into a shot, and then the fire will do the rest. That was almost too close, to be honest. If Yoshi had the time to heal up a bit there, that could have been very problematic for FUT. But they will take that round, and SK now need to be a bit careful. They're going to lose the first set.
Yeah, it really was a worthwhile super there from Semantic. Get him down and get the round back in their hands, because now they've got a bit of wiggle room. They're not going to be too bad. Linane, I believe, has another super down the bottom here as well, but doesn't really want to use it on OP, doesn't really want to use it on Yoshi, so maybe you might rotate over to the left-hand side. Doze's actually going to go for Yoshi there, gets the stun off and gets the kill. Jump in from OP. Can't do much now, though. He didn't have any ammo left, and Semantic just looking to try and get his super as Chaos pretty much already has his, and it's not as influential anyway as that Rocket Rain can be in the closing seconds or getting it over the walls. So Linane starting from square one, back trying to get his super. Drake has his, Semantic has his, Chaos got his as well, but SK looking a little bit more bleak on the super side.
Yeah, I don't have quite as much to work with right now, especially as well with the star power choice on the squeak. It's super not gonna slow anyone down anymore, so not necessarily as strong as it once was. Let's see if either side are going to be able to find an opening, as there's all 3 supers available now for FUT Esports. And they can get a little bit of a wombo combo. Shielding up that Fang that goes in with a Rocket Rain to close out some of the kills, or make the players a bit closer to being low HP early on. And yeah, everything comes in at once. I think the super from Drake was missed, and that's going to give away that.
For FUT Esports, but SK Gaming come out on top of that one. Now it's just this one game to decide who takes the first set. Semantic going to instantly break up that back portion of the map and not even get the best break on it either, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Drake either missed that super or just, you know, died regardless of landing it. But Linane is going in, and he's going in for a second kill. I mean, SK need to be careful because they're not playing bad, but every time the first round they give away a free kill to Linane. And they can't do that.
Yeah, it's not a round they want to be dropping, but Semantic getting hit hard and actually forcing the shield out of Drake there. A little break coming down as well. No more rocket fuels left. from Semantic, so won't see that much more wall break unless we see a super coming down. But Chaos feeling confident about this one, maybe even going in and feeding some more supers to the side of FUT Esports, as he doesn't seem to be backing off just yet.
He always has the option to go for the gas, but if you can find a connection or two, he might consider going for it. Actually, he does connect the super onto Drage, but again, no slow means no real follow-up. And he should be going down here. I'm gonna feed a little bit more supers, not a crazy amount either. But not sure if that was worth it, because now he doesn't even get to carry his own super over.
Yeah, FUT Esports in a good position now, in a bit of a stronghold on this map as well. Lane pushing aggressive, doesn't really want to, well, at least for the side of SK, they don't want to slip up and have him take down OP yet again, just after missing a couple of shots and scouting the lane. Semantic gets a shot onto Chaos though. Can't be too far off getting his super, and Drage working towards his as well. Lane though, he's the man they really want to make the moves. One gadget left though, I believe, as he did use 2 quite early on in the last.
Yeah, well, I mean, 2 gadgets, 2 kills is not too bad either, so I'm sure he doesn't regret that decision. But you're right though, it would be nicer for FUT if they can just close that here, as he more likely than not will not have any gadgets left for the 3rd round. Yoshi has super as well, and Lana gets absolutely destroyed. Direction, the gas for the rest of the team, and they'll try not to feed too many supers. There's still 2 carried over for SK.
Well, this round will decide pretty much everything. Supers all available from FUT Esports, and SK, they do have 2. So it's not going to be the saddest of things for them, only missing out on that squeak one, and Chaos, I'm sure, isn't that far away from it either. Super comes down from Semantic, it's just going to break those walls. I'm not sure how I feel about that, as I feel like that's quite an influential super to have a little bit later on down the line if you're trying to finish a kill.
Tagging game from afar, trying to get some little poke damage here and there. Get closer to unlocking those supers. There's 2 for each now, and will be available for the late game. Now it's the waiting time for some opportunities, or for the gas to create them.
I mean, FUT better hope that Drage doesn't miss his shield this time, as Linane, I'm sure, is going to be wanting it. Gets provided with it. Super going to be going in and jump over it from Bonnie. Drage gets the kill there. It's a 2v1, but Yoshi can do this, definitely so. Gadget comes back. I mean, the super goes back onto Drage. Yoshi in a good position. Linane's low as well. This could be a win, but he gets it. He walks into the... Well, it is going to be Kaboom Canyon Heist up next. And as always, second set, it's a decisive one. It's hard to come back from being 2-0 down, but 1-1 definitely sounds a lot better. Kaboom Canyon, I feel like we need to avoid some of the Shelly for at least both of these teams, because it does do quite a lot. I believe we may have seen the Shelly actually lose earlier though, as those range comps can really pull through if that grass gets broken up and that mobility's lost. We'll see now what they do ban out. We got rid of the Crow, the Bee, and the Eve coming in from FUT Esports. Makes sense considering they've got that first pick. Eve, Cordelius, and Shelly going to be banned out by the side of SK Gaming. Bonnie as the first selection from FUT. I like it.
I like it too. I mean, the speed gear, I've said this, I think every month this year, but I still love it. The speed gear, just mitigating that slowness in that mid bush. There's just so much bush, so basically you go to a normal speed, and that helps Bonnie quite a bit. And overall, just very, very good sharpshooter with that extra little level of explosion if you want to go for jumping on the safe or to eliminate a threat somewhere. Brock is going to be a very good addition as well for SK Gaming. The free wall break is ever so valuable to destroy those mid walls and just get some better positioning for your team, some better timings as well for that initial fight, where usually your opponents, if they don't have wall break, will just not have a mid player for a little bit. So I like it for sure. It's also one of the highest DPS brawlers on safe in the game, especially for a more long-range brawler that can just stay literally in that mid area and still be able to hit that safe for a ton of damage with the incendiary damage that just adds up really nicely onto the safe.
Yeah, the Colette as well going to be very good against the Bonnie and add a lot of damage to the safe as well. It's kind of a question of whether or not FUT Esports are going to be able to keep control in a position like this, and because if Brock gets the save, if Colette gets the save, it's going to be difficult. They're going to go with the Squeak up next. You know, if you throw one of these residues down one of the sides, that's going to be difficult to push through. Not difficult, they're just not going to try and do it, otherwise they will be taken down. FUT Esports on their last pick now, third and final for them, and then we go back over to SK Gaming. They're going to go with the Griff, a little bit of a wall break, and I think that might help against the Colette quite heavily, but also I feel it kind of defeats the point of the residue, you know? If they're only breaking their side, I'm fine with that, but if they break the opposing side, it adds an extra choke point to walk through.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Well, they can't break the other side though, right? Because, I mean, the Brock will probably break it anyways.
That's true.
I just thought about that now. I was like, a very good point, but maybe not.
Well, clearly I didn't think of it, so you've done better than me there.
It happens, it happens. I'll go for Lola as their final pick. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Lola is in a pretty decent place at the moment. It's the Brawl I play the most because I'm trying to get that mastery. But yeah, it's quite a grind, and I'm not good enough at the game to, you know, get enough wins to get there. But it is in a fairly good place. Not the most dominant brawler, but definitely one that can do some good damage here and there. And especially if you leave her on safe with an ego, that is going to be a problem.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. And the DPS that SK are going to be able to pile out onto the safe here is going to be an issue for FUT Esports if they lose control even once. Colette Supers, Brock shots, Lola shots, it's dangerous for them. But they've got a very controlling comp, I feel, and if they manage to do it, then I'm sure they'll be fine if they just get rid of some of these bushes and don't allow those speed gears to take effect for the Colette at least, who's already dominating.
Yeah, that's a strong start so far from SK, who is just so much control already, a team wipe, and another super from OP that connects on the save. I think also hits Semantic once there. That's gonna help OP chain his next super. He's a connection away, and he finds it now. Another super, and again finds a tag onto Semantic in the process. That means some extra supercharge. Even though he does end up going down, it's a 41% lead for SK, and they still have more control.
Yeah, well, Yoshi going to throw out a gadget down the left-hand side there. Jump forward from Lane. Great stuff from him, and he actually does get the kill, but no damage has followed up yet. Ope's got to be close to a super as he's going very aggressive. Gets hit a little bit on the way back, or at least the way in by Semantic. And only 9% done by FUT Esports. And on the other side, 52% for SK Gaming. Drage is going to fall, Lane's going to fall, and it's just Semantic left alive.
Semantic has taken a good chunk of damage there. OP gonna pop a nice gadget. Doesn't quite make it back from his super, but still gets the double connection on the save. So he gets it all the way down to 38% now. FUT Esports finally have a shred of control. With 50 seconds left, they're still quite a bit behind damage-wise.
15% is all they've managed to get so far. Lane trying to make something happen now as that residue nearly on the safe by Drage. Keeps on slowing them down. Does have his jump as well, but Colette not the best matchup for him in this tanky form. Needs to play the short game, but super comes in from him, and he does get eradicated very, very fast. Drage has a super as well. Can do a lot of damage on the safe, but choosing to use it defensively and try keeping the control. But at this point, they need the damage.
Yeah, they still need a lot of damage. This is looking problematic for FUT. So far, SK's defense has been absolutely on point. I mean, their offense too, really. Yoshi takes down Semantic. And now, FUT Esports, with that final push, is just not going to be happening. Not enough damage in the world to make the difference here. SK Gaming take the first game of highs in a
different story if we don't see, I don't know, 3 Colette supers before we see anything from FUT.
Wall break takes just a little bit longer for the Griff compared to the Brock. But regardless, it is FUT with the more mid control now. SK playing it very defensively this time around. And then now we'll get tagged up a bit by that gadget from Yoshi. Some early damage on save. Just a little bit of attack for now. As that Chaos will take a good bit of damage from that shot from Drage. Eventually OP does find Lena, and with a gadget he'll be staying up and healthy for a bit longer as well. 7 HP survives, but Lena will make sure that he doesn't get the chance to heal up. Well done. Another trade here, and the action just doesn't stop.
Yeah, I mean, SK are already in the lead, even after that slight push we saw come through from SK. 3 shots from Drage, connect and gets down OPE, but Samantha's just outranged and outclassed a little bit by the Brawls on the opposing side. Gets some HP back from the star power, but Drage getting hit hard. Super needs to be used, and Residue thrown down. There goes the Griff. Super actually does go down, but I think that's one connection, at least in one direction from OPE.
Smatic hasn't had the easiest time on Griff so far. Trying to get up close on the left-hand side and find some more value. Drage has Super once more. Could find some connections that would be helpful, especially if you can land it onto the save. Drage takes down OP, but the trade is there. Lena is able to find another one and gets a couple shots off onto the save. Survives for an absurd amount of time, to be honest, but in the meantime, SK also have some presence towards that blue safe, and for now, they still have a 6% lead.
Yeah, Residue plays down, that's stopping the Brock, and it is only 6%, so it's not that much. Lola Super does go down, doesn't really get much done. So, there's the Griff Super, and this could be the big turning point for FUT Esports. Lenane not got jumped just yet. Semantic's going to avoid quite a lot of that Brock Super, but he does go down. 15 seconds on the clock. Drage has got his Super. It should get a good connection on OP. Should bring him down. Does. Lenane needs a jump. He gets it. The jump on. The damage comes through. They take the lead. Add a few more shots as well. Lenane's still alive. He's keeping him at bay for so long. Semantic's going to join him as well. 1 second left, and FUT Esports
holding up as nicely, and you can see the difference as well between that first game where SK won the opening fight, like hands down, incredibly dominant first fight. There's a team wipe and some opportunities to get some early damage on safe, and then the second game where it was kind of the other way around, and they just didn't have that flourishing of a start.
Well, now Lenane does have this jump, maybe be able to get connect shot on OP. He does actually survive that one out. Great from SK to have him still alive here. Samantha's going to use that Super, not get a lot from it, does get it back, and it brings Chaos low, but they do have control, and they are going to take the lead. Even if it's 2%, it's still the lead at the moment.
Oh, we've seen many games come down to even less than that. Semantic getting some more tags onto the save. It's fairly even still, as Yoshi is going to come back to defend. Semantic eventually gets caught in a crossfire between 3 different players. Lena is able to at least make sure that he gets that trade. Still a 2-on-1, and slowly SK are building up just a little bit more control. Good Super from Semantic. 7% lead now for FUT Esports, and even though they have the man advantage, they haven't really taken all that much control from that situation just yet, as Semantic got tagged up heavily by that Brock Super. Lena gets some more damage on safe. And for now, it's a 14% lead. Nothing too drastic, but they do need to take care of Semantic, and they will find the connections. Yoshi with some beautiful Brock shots. Slowly, things are looking better and better for SK Gaming, but they're still behind damage-wise.
Yeah, even out now, and Drage needs to try and not avoid OP here, but Lenane very, very low. Chaos, I mean, everybody's low on the map at the moment. Gets good shots from Semantic there. Nice connection from Lenane and Drage, even things out, but Yoshi trying to push forward. 20 seconds on the clock. He's going to get a lot of damage, but he's going to fall as well. That's going to give control to now FUT Esports. Even though Colette's going back to the mid, they can't really let him get the Super off, but they do. A lot is going to need to come down in this last 15.
Yeah, I don't know if that's enough damage from SK either, because there's 3 players coming up with a bunny jump as well. The Squeak Super that will get a connection. OP trying to tank it, but it's not enough. Damage pours down, and SK Gaming are not able. Teams, they've both pretty much disappointed themselves in the first half of this year, as we know how high their expectations are, because we know how talented those players are and how capable they are of wonderful things, but it just hasn't quite paid off so far this year. They've been in the shadow of teams like Reply Totem and of course Zeta Division, that's been kind of ahead of the competition so far this year. This is the monthly final of the underdogs, as Zeta is out, and either SK or FUT are going to be joining Reply Totem in the grand finals, and right now it's looking a whole lot more likely that it's going to be FUT Esports making it.
I mean, Tara as a first pick is not something that I'd expect on a map like Hard Rock Mine. Yes, it's a good pick, but I don't know if it's really first pick potential, at least in my eyes. We're over to FUT now with 2 picks, and we'll see what they do choose to go with. But I'm sure there's a lot on the table that's not playing into Atara's hands. Sandy's still very good against that as well. This kind of brings Carl off the table and a lot of those other picks as well, but they're going to go with the Gus through the mid, and I like it, picking up that mid early on and making sure that they've got a solid one.
Yeah, I don't mind it either. I kind of agree with you for the Sandy idea. I feel like it could be something interesting for FUT, but we'll see what they actually decide to commit to pick-wise. We have a Samban as well here from SK. I mean, we saw, I believe it was the last match day from SBS or the second last where Lenin popped off like crazy on the Sam. And, well, that's probably why he's banned right now, is what I'm trying to say. And they'll go Carl instead. And you kind of warned us about the Carl pick and how it could be a bit dangerous against the Tara, and I agree. It does deal well with the Tara gadget, but I mean, the super obviously is absolutely brutal up close.
I'm not sure about it. If it can, get the other matchup and play that well, then I think it'll be fine. But at the moment, just into this Tara, if that's the matchup that's going to be playing, I don't feel too confident in it. But they're going to play the B through the mid here, SK Gaming, to see if they're able to beat this Gus down there. And they do have one more pick as well. And we can't forget, FUT had the last pick, so they got the possibility of countering or trying to counter all of what SK Gaming bring to the table. So I feel like they're favoured a little bit more here. Put the Carl into the Tara, I wasn't sure about it. And if you can get flying hook onto the gem carry, it's always going to be good, but they're going to have a solid defense against it.
Final picks are about to come through. And SK is going to go for the Stu. Interesting. I'm not sure what to think of it. I mean, doesn't have bad matchups so far. So I think I don't really mind it. For Esports, might try to find a good way to punish. Drake has a couple more seconds to cook, and it's going to be the penny they'll bring in. It's going to have some good value against both. I mean, really against everyone, to be honest. In their base kits, or like their usual meta kits, they all end up playing with some sort of spawnable, which is going to be a problem when there's a penny. And it's also going to be helpful to have that mortar on your side if there's a speed zone or honey molasses you want to take down. So I don't really mind it either. It's an interesting comp. It's an interesting comp.
I kind of like the penny pick, I will say. As you said, it splashes through the speed zone, the honey molasses, the spawnables that Tara brings in, support from beyond. So it's solid. I think it's pretty good all in all. We'll see if it manages to pull through and take the win for Esports, or if SK Gaming will bring one set back and start the possibility of a reverse sweep. Tara's going to be moving over onto this penny side, which I don't think is the best matchup for her.
Drake was a very passive early game. Was back early on, and Yoshi was a nice connection there onto Semantic as well. Drake's gonna get tagged up too, and now there's information given, and I really like that they're playing that gadget on the Tara, because I mean the other one would be very dangerous to play up close, and this one still gives so much information on this map, being really helpful so far to SK. And even though Chaos might end up going down here, it's not before SK have built up a 6-gem lead, 7 to Yoshi's name now, and that is definitely a strong early statement.
Yeah, Semantic could claim so much control then if he knew that the Tara wasn't on that side, so difficult position for him, but that 8th gem spawns on the side of SK Gaming. OP's going to be trying to go for it, but the splash through of Semantic there, nice for him, but gadget from both Chaos and Semantic pretty much negate each other out, but a little bit of a wall break coming in there for SK Gaming. Not sure if that really helps them or the others. OP's going to get the pull, but nothing from it. Super from the name coming in. Surely going to get a takedown, but I don't think he can get out here. Not sure if that's worth the risk. Knockback. Oh, actually not knockback from the turret coming in there from Semantic. Just places it down to tank a few shots, but it's 5-9. But they're all with Tara.
I think it was a nice try from Lena. I don't know if he has any more flying hooks, because if he did, he was not that far from getting away with it. Yeah, he does still have one, so he wasn't that far from getting away with it, is my point. Even though, well, I mean, clearly he didn't. But it's only a 1-gem difference now. Actually, it's all even as Rage picks up gem number 9. Everyone is very packed up together here for SK. They lose a player. OP goes for a pull. We'll get the kill to Semantic. Follow up as well, but Drage is the one carrying the gems, and so far he's been fine. Yoshi picked up another gem though, so he should be able to equalize until Lena swoops in, gets that kill. Chaos is tagged up as well. The pull will connect, but the unbreakable wall is gonna block Semantic from being sucked all the way. And now with 2 gems difference, FUT could probably still reset the countdown by staying around the mid, but they need that next gem. It spawns on the side of SK, and it's going to be IKEOS to pick it up, and that is just a...
Popper coming in, but it was tanked by Honey Molasses, so it's a bit rough for FUT Esports there. Good plays from SK Gaming to be able to take this win, but at the same time, I feel like their start should just be better than it was in the previous game.
All right, early aggression once again, and Drage and Lena, they respect that sort of aggression. In the meantime, they have Semantic that has built up a little bit of a flank on that right side. He does get tagged up quite heavily. Surely they'll be able to pinch it, but actually he does manage to take down Semantic in the process. Means that there's not going to be as much of a mid presence for a little bit, but FUT can't really capitalize too much. Instead, SK still are able to build up a bit of an early gem late. Drage pushed back all the way back to his spawn. Same thing for Lena. That positioning is so dominant here for SK Gaming, and something that FUT need to deal with immediately.
Super there from Semantic as well. Going to be providing that 4th man. Great splashing through from Semantic, and he's going to move into a great position. Now they're all going towards Yoshi. He's low, he's down. Lenane's going to get the gems, and this time he will get out with them. FUT looked bleak throughout this one. There's still a pull available from OP, but the countdown's there, and they're low as well.
Don't know how things went from amazing to awful so quickly here for SK Gaming. But FUT Esports, they will embrace that chaos.
And that one, it was just a big turnaround. So I feel like FUT maybe going to have a big turnaround again, or they're going to just have to play it better if they want to close out here.
Nice early attacks from Drage. And Chaos is able to get quite aggressive early on as well. And that means, again, the first couple gems nearly all going into the hands of FUT. One is fine on the right lane as well. Drage is about 1 shot away from going down. IKEOS finds Lena, is able to back off and start healing back up as well. SK Gaming was a very strong early game, but we saw it in the previous game. It's not about the starts, it's about how you finish.
Yeah, and we see a lot of strong finishes from FUT, but not going to get the shield off that time, but the turret does connect with OP there, and he is going to go down. Semantic very low, having to use that salty barrel, but not a lot from it either. Lenane doesn't want to pick up these gems because he knows if they want to win this one, he's going to have to aggress Yoshi at some point. He's going to have to get the kill, and therefore doesn't want to be carrying gems in case he does drop even more to the side of SK Gaming. But Drage is going to pick up that one, and it is 9-2. Not too good for FUT Esports, but still, there's some kind of hope in there.
Absolutely, we saw them steal away the previous game. Lena going in, Lena finds Yoshi, Lena gets some gems as well. Can he get away with it? IKEOS is able to get the trade, but Semantic somehow runs away with 6. Drage finds 4, and somehow this is a countdown for FUT Esports.
I mean, Lenane is just an absolute beast on this Carl. That is absolutely insane from him. Went in, got the kill, avoided the Tara super quickly, and then take the win for FUT Esports. They're going to be moving on to the finals, spinning as well, and this is the position they needed to be in this month. No guarantees of SPS finals, no guarantees of next month, so get it done here and today.
Amazing stuff from FUT Esports, locking in their position for the grand finals. And man, Lena was a phenomenal performance here in this one, whether it was on Fang, on Carl, on Sam, he is an absolute